suddenly you see this tiny little figure of little alien just like rising up, and then you see another alien and they start running after him, and he says the catchphrase, "Nope." Hi comrades, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't posted in a while, but I have a very good excuse, okay? I've just been dead. If you're new here, I usually do horror movie reviews, horror series, and horror book reviews, but today's video is basically gonna be kind of the same because yesterday I went to watch Nope. Not Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec, but Nope, which is a new horror movie by Jordan Peele that just came out like a few days ago. It's about aliens. And honestly, it was kind of one of the best movies I've seen this year. I went to watch the movie with my friend Tracy, who actually have been on this channel before. We're both kind of like horror movie fans or whatever they say, and we both really like the movie. If you don't know who Jordan Peele is, he's a writer and a director, and he directs his own stories, whatever. One of the biggest ones that he's made, or I don't know if it was like the only ones, but the biggest ones that I know of was the horror movie Get Out, which is about like a black guy that goes into a white family to visit his girlfriend's parents or whatever, and then they basically try to kill him because he's black. That was kind of like the whole point of the movie. And then another movie called Us, about a family that basically gets replaced by a family from like a parallel world that are evil, called Tether, I believe. That movie was pretty good too. And then now there's a movie called Nope, which I think is the best one out of the three, just because of how Jordan Peele reinvented the idea of aliens. Like when I was watching the movie, my mind was kind of boggled a little bit. So let's just get into it, okay? I'm just going to tell you what the movie's about. Well, I already kind of did. It's about aliens, but let's get further into it. So the movie first starts off with a monkey killing people on set. You can tell it's a set because it's like a staged area. And at first I was like, are we watching, is this the correct movie? Like, did we get into the wrong theater? Like, what's going on? And then by the end of the scene, there's a shoe that's just like standing still. You know, like if you leave a shoe, it would be flat. That one was standing still up like this. And you're like, okay, definitely something weird is going on. The monkey basically ends up killing everyone on set. Not basically, he literally kills and eats everyone on set except this little boy that hides under a table. Then we get like the intro scene. We meet a guy and his father. They own a ranch. Not like Ranch the sauce, but ranch like with horses and stuff. I don't know, a rodeo, whatever it's called. I think it was a ranch. And they're like feeding the horses, whatever they were doing with horses. One of them was like sitting on a horse. And then suddenly stuff starts falling out of the sky. And the son is like looking around and he's like, what the frick is going on? He doesn't really look up. He kind of like just looks over the area. There's like keys and pennies, like weird stuff coming out. And then I guess the dad ended up looking up and a penny went into his eye. We didn't see it, but later, like when they went to the doctor, you could see on the x-ray, and a penny ended up getting into his eye and like lodging in his brain, and he ended up passing away. So the first question is, why the frick is there stuff coming out of the sky, right? They have a business where they basically get horses to be in movies. That's like their entire business. So he's on a movie set with this horse. The set people obviously don't listen to the rules, so the horse freaks out. His sister is also there. That's how we get to meet his sister, and his sister is like a typical LA, like, hi, I do this, I do this, I do this, and yourself to everyone. And which pisses the brother off a little bit because they're there for business, not to be like selling yourself, which is kind of understandable. I really hope my mic is on, because if it's not, it would be very depressing. Do you hear that? Okay, good. So the horse ends up freaking out, right? They have to leave, like they don't really get the job. I think they still get paid, but they don't get filmed, whatever. He's kind of upset. So they go to this ranch, and it's like a theme park, sort of, like in the middle of the desert. I don't even know. And this Asian guy, he ends up being the kid from the beginning of the movie where the monkey got killed, where the monkey killed a bunch of people, but he's the little boy that survived, basically. And he goes into the story how it went banana shit and killed everyone. And he was like, it was crazy, you know? They were like, why did this happen? And he's like, oh, every time you would mention a jungle, the monkey would flip out. But us, the watchers or the viewers, we know that that's, you know, there's a little bit more to that. So the brother and sister, they end up going home, and they're just like chilling, whatever. They hear that one of the horses ends up running away. So the brother goes to look for the horse, and he's like, what is going on? He's like in the middle of nowhere in the hills looking for this horse. And then he sees something in the sky, like a little saucer, you know, like the little alien ship, just like shoot through the sky. And he's like, what the fuck? So him and his sister end up going to this hardware store, not hardware store, like electronics store. It's called Fry's in the movie. It probably exists in real life, I just never seen it. I don't know, I thought they were going to a restaurant because I saw Fry's and I was like, okay, cool, burgers. But no, it was a video store. They meet this guy, I don't even remember his name. He actually ends up being a part of their entire crew of trying to record like the alien life, because their big thing is the sister. She wants to become famous and rich, so she's like, dude, let's record this. So the brother gets in on it. So they set up these cameras, and the way that the cameras work is that if one camera gets shut down, the other one will record. So they're waiting for the alien, and the way that it's been happening is like almost every single night something has been going on, like they hear like the weird sounds, whatever. And then we see the brother, he's taking care of the horses, he turns off the lights, right? This is the kind of scene that was like, what the fuck, because I didn't expect it to happen like this. He turns off the lights, he walks away, the lights turn back on. He's like, what the fuck? He goes back, he turns off the lights, walks away, the lights turn back on. And then suddenly you see this tiny little figure of little alien just like rising up, and then you see another alien and they start running after him, and he says the catchphrase, nope, and then he runs away. He tries to record, and it's like a little alien head like peeking out, and then he turns around and then there's an alien like on his side, and he punches in the face, and it ends up being a little kid that's just pretending to be an alien. And you're like, okay, great, so where are the aliens then? Like, what's going on? The sister, meanwhile, she's looking at the cameras, and one of the cameras gets like covered by a bug, like a little it's not a dragonfly, like a praying mantis, that's what it was. And she's like, that's weird. And she looks away from the screen, and she gets a call from the video store guy that ends up kind of like spying on them, because he's like, something's going on. And he's like, hey, the other camera is shut off. So the way, like I explained before, if one camera shuts off, the other one records, but the one that's recording is covered by a bug. And all the shit starts going freaking crazy. The alien ship comes, and then instead of having a light, like in alien movies, it creates this kind of like tornado sand swirl and sucks stuff up. And it ended up sucking up like a fake horse that they set up with flags, and it kind of like hurt it, I guess. So later in the movie, it went over the house and it spit a bunch of blood and a bunch of like random stuff, hella rain, and it was like pouring down, and they had to hide. The brother had to hide in the car, and then the sister and the video store guy, because he ended up coming, were hiding in the house, and they were like shitting their pants, like, what the frick's going on? But the way that the alien works is the brother figures out that it's actually like the ship itself is the animal, and the way that you can avoid being caught by the animal is if you don't look up. Like, if you don't look at it, if you don't stare at it, it won't follow you around. And then they develop this plan. The sister ends up calling the producer of that one commercial, whatever Hollywood thing they were making in the beginning of the movie. She's like, okay, you are gonna need to come here. So he ends up coming there. They see that in the sky, because they've been recording for a while, in the sky there's a cloud, and they speed like through the entire footage, and the cloud never moves. And they're like, that's where the ship is, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it's hiding, because it's in the cloud. That's how they convince the main producer that apparently shoots stuff that's like impossible to shoot, because he has a camera that's not it's not like influenced by electricity. You just roll, you know, and it records. Because when the alien ship would come, it would shut off electricity, just like in any other alien movie. It would like affect all the fields, whatever, and it created like an anti-magnetic field, or a magnetic field, whatever, where it's like around it there's no electricity. They figure out that they're gonna set up like a little trap. So they set up a little station, right? So there's like that video guy, the guy from the video store, the sister is monitoring everything from the house. She like woke up the creature or the alien by playing music really loud, and then the guy on the horse, which is our main guy, the brother. So they turn on the music, blast it, they see a little ship, it starts monitoring, because they set up a bunch of those like weird flabby balloon guys. The ship tries to like find what to catch, basically. And then all of a sudden, a guy on a motorcycle shows up from TMZ, and you're like, that's weird. Oh, I also missed a really big part where at that theme park they were trying to like spectacle create like a spectacle viewing of the alien, because the Asian guy figured out that there is the alien would come like every day, and the alien just sucked everyone up. It just came right above them. They were all staring up, and then you could see them like inside of it. And at first I was like, oh, they're gonna get probed or something, I don't know, up their butts. But no, it just sucked them up. Anyways, their plan ends up kind of working. They get the footage. The freaking guy on a motorcycle from TMZ, he's riding like 60 miles an hour on a motorcycle, hits the magnetic field or anti-magnetic field and just flies off the motorcycle, which was like the funniest scene in the movie. And he's laying there with broken legs. The brother tries to come and save him, but he sees that the alien is coming. He's like, sorry dude, like you're just too bad. While the guy's screaming for his camera, being like, where's my camera, I need to record this, he gets sucked up. We never see him again. You would just hear him screaming for like a few minutes. So yeah, they get the footage of the freaking saucer and saucer/animal, whatever. And the guy that was the producer that was like with the recording camera, he's like, dude, I have to get better footage because I know I can do it. He goes on top of a hill, the saucer comes, sucks him up, he's gone. We just see footage of him flying up. The brother and the sister basically make the alien thing follow the sister to the theme park because it has a like a well where you put a coin in and takes a picture. So she makes it that the alien thing catches the huge balloon right above the picture, and it ate it, and she takes a picture and it blows up. And that's basically how the movie ends. The way that Jordan Peele created this freaking alien boggled my mind, because at first it was like a saucer. You're like, okay, it's a ship, there's little green aliens inside the ship probably. No. After a while, when the brother realizes it's actually an animal, it starts kind of like transforming. It starts flying like sideways more near the ground. You can see the little ripples, almost like it's made out of fabric. And then by the end of the movie, it transforms into this huge sheet looking kite with like different flowy things, and it goes like that, and then it has an eye which like shoots and rotates, like kind of hypnotizing their victims, I guess, because it makes you look at it, which is, I don't know, I just thought it was so freaking cool. The movie was a 10 out of 10. If you can still watch it in theaters, I would 100% recommend that you go and watch it in theaters, because just to get the experience of the movie, it was amazing. Was it scary? Not really. I feel like Nick would even like the movie. He's not really a fan of horror movies, but I feel like he would like that one because it's not that scary. But yeah, that's basically it. Like, the way that Jordan Peele made the alien, instead of creating little tiny aliens that live in the ship, he made the ship the alien, which is like so cool, so new. I've never seen anything like that before. I think this movie is definitely gonna be like a cult classic 20 years from now, which is just like, I don't know. I was just so impressed by this movie. 100% recommend watching it. 10 out of 10. Great movie. I think that's all I have for today. Like, I don't think I have anything else to say. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, because I post pretty often. Whenever I want. It's not that often, but I do post. I have not forgotten about this channel, I promise you. I also have a second channel where I kind of do like hobbies and like photo shoots and creative stuff, which is 1111. It's 11 and then 11 up here. It's like 11 squared 11, or 11 to the 11th power. That's not. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye, comrades.